Just a quick note before we hop into the video today, guys. My Discord server is now live, where I'll be posting up build links as soon as I've tested them for DIM before they go up in video format. And I'm also trying to build a community of people that still enjoy the game even if they're frustrated with it, and a place that's open to any Guardians as long as you are a good person who's willing and patient to help out new players, all that kind of stuff. Don't care how experienced or inexperienced you are, how good or bad you are. I'm just trying to make a place that is a good time and a community that you enjoy being a part of, especially as we head towards the June update, where we'll be doing raid, dungeon help, all that kind of stuff. Or if you even want to start forming teams for Pantheon or want any help with that. Discord.gg/subzerosam, or the link will be pinned down in the comment below. Thank you very much, and now let's get on with the video. Destiny 2, my friends, is in a very weird spot right now. Trying to stay positive about it, even though we've got some things that are going on that are frustrating. It's a really weird time to be a Destiny 2 fan or player. Of course, Marathon is getting a lot of love. We've now found out that within a week of each other, the new Marathon season is going to be going live at the same time as the Destiny update, which does bring back some bad memories from obviously when Marathon launched. However, there is also some other odd things going on, which I did share in a video of everything that we know so far going into June. A lot of the information is coming from Bungie employees, namely mainly DMG, not from official Bungie confirmations, or there's no real information being shared on official channels, which I find really, really strange. So, where most of the information is coming from, DMG had also said that we'd start to talk about the June update in mid-May. Well, we are coming towards the end of the second week of May, and yeah, we've not really had anything at all. As I said, if you want full details, check out the other video, but essentially DMG on Reddit and on Twitter has been sharing way more information than we've heard come directly from Bungie. We know from DMG that all raid and dungeon legacy content will be all getting updated and will be available from day one of the update. We know there's changes coming to Eververse engrams, we know there's tier 5 exotics finally coming, as well as the expected new season pass and exotic, some new story content in whatever form that ends up being, and updates to Gambit and Iron Banner loot. The strange thing about it all though is, despite the fact that DMG said that we would start to learn more from mid-May, he's also recently said a couple of weeks ago that TWIDs or TWIDs, whichever you refer to them as, would continue to be pretty quiet with not much going on other than the bare minimum weekly updates for at least another couple of weeks. The problem with that is that takes us to the end of May, and the new update is due after the first week of June. So we're literally waiting until basically, at this rate, the week before the update launches to even know what the new season is called, because of course it isn't called Shadow and Order anymore. They changed the name of that because of some of the changes and things that they've made to the actual content itself. So we're going into a season where we don't even know what it's called, never mind what's going to be going on in it. Now, of course, the radio silence from Bungie pretty much for this entire year anyway, and the delay and this now weird situation that we've got going on, has of course led players to believe that we are heading into maintenance mode at some point, and that none of the further expansions such as the Alchemist or the Shattered Cycle will be going ahead, and essentially most people are starting to believe that Destiny 2 is coming to an end and winding down, which I probably started to believe a little bit as well, as much as I don't want that to be the case. Like I said, I'm glass half full and I don't want it to be true, but I can definitely see why people are starting to feel that way. That is until we get this week's TWID. So this is not the only reason for this, but it starts off the same nothing burger kind of thing. Commander's orders have been completed, active and upcoming activities in game, and new emblems for community creators. So I'm not going to go through it and do a full readout, guys, but basically the community challenges have been going on, which was for getting 50 million kills in 2 weeks was done, and the 50 million additional target was also done as well. So anybody that took part and played and used the specific weapons is going to receive these 2 emblems in no more than 30 days. However, if a game is winding down and they're planning on putting it into maintenance mode, we've got brand new emblems that have been created for all assets of community type events. So we've got a new Artist of the Week emblem called Apex Opus, which is the new Artist of the Week one. We've got a new Movie of the Week one called Kinetography. We've got a new fashion emblem called Planetaria, and then we've even got a new third-party developer emblem called Margins Beyond. And oh, sorry, I missed another one there. New emblem for volunteers called Praetorian. Now, for me, I know this is a very sort of loose thing to say, but if you were part of a company that was winding down, planning to put this game into maintenance mode, After all the love that Marathon's getting shown, the financials that have recently come out about Sony, etc., you would think they wouldn't be planning for new emblems for these kind of community submissions, especially not a new third-party developer emblem. Obviously, a lot of the tools that we've used in the past that are outside of the game, a lot of them have either been taken over by somebody else or stopped getting support. So unless they were planning a future for the game, you really wouldn't think that they'd be spending time with their art team or whoever designs these emblems doing this kind of stuff if they were going to let the game die down, let the player base dwindle even further, and, you know, basically just go into Age of Triumph 2.0. It doesn't make sense. It's really, really confusing, but like I said, this is a sign that there is going to be some kind of future in Destiny, I would believe. The rest of the TWID doesn't really give us too much. It only goes on for telling us what the activities are for the end of the week. So Showdown and Relic for Legacy Crucible, Countdown for Crucible Ops, the Battleground EDZ for A Good Shout is the Grandmaster Vanguard alert, and then Trials of Osiris is going to be Cirrus Plaza for the Martlet weapon is going to be the main reward. There's a couple of known issues, and then the usual submissions to artist and movie of the week. So again, it is another absolute nothing burger. We learn absolutely nothing about the upcoming update in June. And I said, it just gets weirder every time things like this happen. Like, I know that DMG is the main lead for communications with the player base, but, you know, the fact that they're not making official announcements about things like this so close to an update, there's a lot of people that don't use X or Twitter or Reddit because they are wretched hives of scum and villainy, for lack of better explanations. So they're literally only hearing things from videos like this or from word of mouth from other people who do use those online platforms. So it's so weird for a game that is, you know, really at one of its lowest points ever, that's trying to make a comeback. Well, I think it's trying to make a comeback anyway. Or they're making things like these new emblems and planning for the future, but in an official capacity, they're not sharing any blog posts yet. There's been no state of the game for like a year, or at least it seems about that long. We've heard nothing really other than bad news in an official capacity from Bungie since Christmas. Obviously they shared about the delay updates and things like that, but realistically that's it. No state of the games, no blog posts, no pre-notes on any changes, no teasers for upcoming content, none of that kind of stuff. And you know, you may think they're trying to keep it close to the chest, have a little bit of a surprise mechanic to things for a change, but honestly, the Bungie that we've come to know, that really isn't the case. So it begs the question, what's going on behind the scenes? Are things actually ready, and that's why they're not sharing anything yet? We still haven't had the roadmap that we were promised last year. And quite honestly, for me, in my opinion, and you'll have to let me know down in the comments below whether you agree with this or not, I think that it doesn't matter what they do in June. As if they don't tell us anything about what happens beyond June, then it doesn't matter how good what happens in June is, it's all going to fall down. Because as I've seen from you guys in my comments section, and just as common sense goes, why are people going to come back to the game that have put it down to refarm content, to update their arsenals? Who's going to care about tier 5 exotic armor pieces if there's no need for them in the game right now, is there? At this current moment, for the average player, I don't think there's any need to have any higher statted exotics than what we've already got. Builds are already more than sufficient enough for any content that we've got, and there's nothing new or intriguing to do. So if we don't hear about the next major expansion, or at least a tease of what we're going to get, a roadmap or something, alongside these blog posts that are coming for June, then I think it's going to be a really rough time for Bungie, even rougher than what they already have. So let me know what you think about that, but also let's share some positive conversation in the comments down below. I've got 2 questions for you today. So usually lore is one of the only things that I don't cover as a channel. I do builds, guides, news, all that kind of stuff, but lore is not something I touch. So lore videos are the only kind of creator videos that I watch, just because if you watch too much of other creators, it tends to influence your own ideas, and of course crossovers and copying and things like that can happen. However, recently I watched a video from Vase, which I'll leave linked down below, and Aztecross's reaction to it as well, talking about how Destiny's future could lead into a Destiny 3. So long story short, Vase basically said one of the theories that's been thrown out there is that we destroy the entire solar system that we are in, and that will rid us of the 9. Basically, that is the only way to go against what they are trying to achieve. That would completely give us a clean slate to go into Destiny 3 with what needing to have a new Guardian, a new solar system, new planets, etc, etc, and then that kind of justifies us losing all the gear and progress that we made in Destiny 2. However, as to Cross's idea, although a little bit more fruity I would say, is he believes that because we've seen our Guardian's grave in the corridors of time, he believes that a more powerful evil version of our own Guardian should kill us and wipe us out. So I'll leave the video to his reaction to Evase's video where he discusses his theory, and also the Evase video as well down below. But let me know, if you wanted to see a Destiny 3, how would you go about tailing off Destiny 2 and justifying the clean slate and complete gear wipe and progression start for a Destiny 3? If I find one particularly good, there might even be a little Brucey bonus of some silver for the winner that I pick, so make sure that you do that. Anyway guys, I have a big video coming on Sunday that I've been working hard on that I think you guys are going to enjoy, so make sure that if you're not subscribed already you do that, and if you enjoyed the video today, leave a like, and like I said, let me know anything that you want to down in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.